Let's get familiar with our materials. This is everything that you will need to paint traditionally for the first half of the semester. Here are the materials you will be needing for class. This is how I lay out my workspace when I'm working traditionally. For the first half of this semester, we will be painting traditionally in gouache. Gouache is an opaque watercolor. This is a water-based medium. It contains pigments that are suspended in gum arabic. Most of my students use the Shinhan poster colors because they are so affordable, but you're also welcome to use Holbein acrylic gouache or Winsor Newton. The Shinhan brand is a little bit different because each of the colors come in individual jars, which is kind of nice because you can scrape out every last bit. Please note though that some of these colors are quite neon and very obnoxious in the Shinhan set. You will need at least 2 water containers for cleaning out your brushes. I recommend one of these double-sided tubs or the collapsible kind to save space. Do not use tiny Dixie cups. You will spend a lot of time emptying out your dirty water. We use watercolor brushes when working in gouache. Do not get oil painting or acrylic brushes. The brushes seen here are rounds. I recommend getting at least 3 different sizes. The sizes seen here are 8, 4, and 2. Next, let's go over brush anatomy. This, of course, is the handle, usually made out of wood or plastic. The silver portion of the brush is known as the ferrule. It holds the bristles in place. And of course, the bristles. The brush seen here is made out of Kolinsky sable bristles, a type of animal hair, but you're more than welcome to use synthetic brushes. This next brush is called a flat brush. The size seen here is a 3/4 inch. Flat brushes are great for laying down large areas of color and evenly distributing the paint. I recommend getting at least 2 of these round weld palettes. It's nice to have 2 palettes on hand for different groups of colors. For example, I often have 1 palette for cool colors and 1 for warm colors, and maybe even 1 for earth tones. There are a few assignments where we will be drawing directly on our illustration boards. Be sure to have some light pencils on hand. I recommend an HB or an H. Make sure you have some rags or paper towels to clean excess paint off your brush, or just to clean up your work area in general. In this class, we will be using illustration boards for our traditional paintings. Be sure to get cold-pressed illustration board, not hot-pressed. You may work on thin illustration board or thick. And finally, a sketchbook is not required, but it is recommended. It will come in handy for in-class note-taking, rough drafts, and thumbnails. These are a few other materials not listed in our syllabus, mostly because there's a good chance you already have them. Be sure you have a utility knife for cutting your illustration board. Tracing paper can be used for sketching roughs on, or to transfer your drawing to your illustration board. You can also use tracing paper to make cover flaps to protect your drawing or painting. Artist tape is used to mask off and protect the edges of your painting. And you will be using your ruler to draw and cut straight edges. Also, do you notice how I have my work area set up? I have all of my wet materials on my dominant hand side. Otherwise, I would risk dripping on my board as I reach across. So keep your water, paint, and palettes on your dominant hand side. And that covers it for materials needed for traditional painting.